On this episode of Beer, Blues, and BS, Kidder and I are here to talk about, of course, the playoffs that everybody is caring about right now. That's right, it is. But just wait, you got to know what it is. If you're a fan of this show, you know that we love the hockey and trolling Kidder. So some of that's going to happen. We're also going to talk a little bit about what we've been watching, a little bit about Halo. I got some feelings. We're seeing some more stuff from Mantic about their Halo game. Is it going to be good? Am I excited? You're just going to have to wait and find out. But trust me, this is a good episode, an enjoyable episode. You're going to have a good time because you're in a good place. Welcome to the show.
It's Howard Blues and V. Mark Kidder. Pour a cold beverage, pull up a seat, enjoy time with friends.
Triple B! Well, the triple B sucks. Okay?
Come on. Whatever, man. This is Beer, Blues, and BS. Online at beerbluesbs.com.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Beer, Blues, and BS, the podcast that's solving all your problems, one beer at a time. I'm your host, the living embodiment of, Charlie Brown, Howard Blues, here, as always, with my co-host, the man, the myth, the legend, the overworked, the Mark Kidder. Kidder, how you doing tonight?
Yes. Can we make that claim, by the way?
That we're solving the world's problems one beer at a time?
Yeah.
Because as people give us more beer, hopefully, we will believe that we have solved all the world's problems. Or people are drinking with us. You know? I'm sure all their problems will melt away the more they have. Problem is, once you sober up, then I can't guarantee that the fix sticks. You know, it's kind of a temporary thing.
Right.
Truthfully, I thought of it, and knowing just kind of the weeks you've tended to have, buddy, I was like, yeah, Kidder's going to hate this intro and have something snarky to say back for it. So that's why I said it. You know? Giving you an excuse to let out the snark, the frustration of the week, all of that.
And an opening for the vultures with lawsuits to file something against our show.
Yeah, we don't got money. Yeah. So
yeah, just let you know before you waste time filing court paperwork and stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. About all we have here on this show is everybody's favorite segment, and that is What's on Tap. Kidder, you look like a man who could use a drink. What you having?
Well, let's see what's in here. Quite a few things.
Yeah, the Triple B beer fridge is looking pretty full, if I do say so myself.
Yeah. Got a couple things here. Which is nice. Maybe. Let's do this one. Because why not? I think you might even have this one.
I have that one in the fridge upstairs, but I do have it, but I grabbed a different drink from Iowa for tonight. I grabbed the wrong can, apparently. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I mean, if you went first, then I would have grabbed probably the same one, but
no, because if you remember from last week, you had what you had last week, I'm having this week.
all right.
Unless you brought more of them. I don't know. It's been a week. Let Howard's clearly not able to put sentences together.
Yeah, right. Pretty much. Well, this, as you may have read by now, if you're watching the video version of this, is Big Grove Squeeze Vodka Seltzer Strawberry Lemonade. And when I bought this, I did not see the seltzer thing. So Lord help us all. It is a strawberry lemonade made with real fruit Iowa vodka. Maybe real fruit and Iowa vodka. Maybe they needed an ampersand in there or something. 6.4% alcohol by volume, and this is a 12 fluid ounce can. On the back, it says made with real fruit Iowa vodka and sweetened with local honey. So again, there's no ampersand or a comma in that, but is crafted by Big Grove Brewery and made with Iowa wildflower honey. Squeeze righteously and follow them at biggrovebrewery.com. Recycle for good karma, which I do, so then I can get the 0.002 cents per can. It was canned by the Big Grove Brewery in Iowa City, Iowa. And there's a full look at the can if you are watching the video version of this show. And it also claims on here that in certain states you can get 5 cents and a couple others you can get 10 cents.
Ooh.
Yeah. So looking at a clear liquid, right off the top, get the sweet aroma. The strawberry hits your nose. And then there's that seltzery smell. And then a little bit of a lemonade-y scent. Ugh. Seltzer. It's really good and then really bad all at once.
No. That's not good.
Like, this flavor is really... Oh. And it's the seltzer. Why do we need seltzers in this world? If they would have made this just an alcoholic vodka strawberry lemonade with none of the seltzer garbage, this would have been delicious.
I have not found the appeal of seltzers, man. I just I haven't had one that I've been like, get me some of that. And yet there are people who just drink the stuff like it's going out of style. I don't get it.
Yeah. Since it's going to take me a minute, put it into this quality 2022 Stanley Cup Colorado Avalanche Championship can koozie.
I got to point out the pro tip for those who maybe caught it on the video feed. You'll notice Kidder isn't like me, a clear noob and heathen who just leaves my can koozie out to be, room temperature. That professional drinker across the way pulled that can koozie out of the fridge so it is pre-chilled. I saw what you did there, sir. That's clearly a pro tip. That is your Mark Kidder pro tip of the night.
And if you also noticed, top shelf.
Yeah, I did.
Yes. Got another one here waiting.
I saw that too. I was just like,
got a backup.
That's genius.
I could put that one around this one in case I need to. But I don't drink it as slow as you. So
that is that is true. That is very, very true. And I'm being bold, Kidder, man. I got some big cans set up for tonight. Even though I'm parent in charge this week. One of them's a non-alcoholic, but we'll get to that. That's round 2. But for me, Kidder, starting off the evening, I have Iowa cider. It is from the Jefferson County Cider Works. It is their tropical pineapple.
I'm interested to see what you think about this because, as we discussed, it was way too appley. Like, yes, I know pineapple, but pineapple tastes completely different than a regular apple.
Yeah.
Anyway.
And I'll read through this. In case you weren't here for last week's episode, and if you weren't, please go back. It was a good episode. We had Rude Boy Kyle. Somebody crashed, the tavern at the last minute. It's well worth it. But this has descriptors as fruity, tropical, semi-sweet, hard cider. It is 16 ounces, 6.2% alcohol by volume. So this is never dull. Ingredients: apples, pineapple juice, yeast, and pineapple extract. Sulfates added to protect flavor and quality. Sparkling hard cider, gluten-free. Keep it refrigerated. Serve it cold and share with friends. That sounds like a great way to pass around a cold. Pack it in, pack it out. Please recycle. This is handcrafted and packaged by Jefferson County Cider Works, LLC. I could give out their address, but that might be considered doxing. We don't need that on our YouTube record. Each batch is handcrafted, which means flavor may vary, much like the climate and seasons. We embrace diversity. So, open it up. The thing that scares me about this, Kidder, that is a very pineapple, kind of apple-y smell. Was that, if I recall, Root Boy Kyle had a descriptor on this that it was a very dry cider. And I'm not usually a fan of dry ciders, so I'm a little leery. But I like the smell, though. It smells like a fresh apple orchard. Which, again, not a pineapple, but yeah. Yeah, that is it's got it's pineapple off the start, but it's got a real apple finish to it. And it's definitely a dry. It's one of those, part of the reason, and I don't know if you feel the same way about drinks that are dry. My problem with them is I feel like you take a big drink, but it doesn't feel like it's refreshing. You know? It's like I almost have to drink more. Or I want some water. You know, you shouldn't feel parched after a drink.
Yeah, I wasn't a fan of that.
Yeah. For a rating. I'd give it a 2.8. Like, it's not terrible, and I probably would rate it higher, but I'm just, as I said, I'm not a fan of like dry ciders or dry wine or dry martinis. You know, that was actually my biggest disappointment, Kidder, when I got to turn 21 and I could finally order a martini and try it. I got a dry martini and I was just like, and it was a disappointment thing because, Kidder, as we've discussed on this show, I was a Bond kid growing up, you know, and the way that man drinks his vodka martinis, I could have sworn like this must be a good drink, a sophisticated drink, and I was like, nope, not really a martini guy apparently. So. I mean, we all know what your cocktail of choice is, that being the old-fashioned. But I don't know. I don't know that I have a cocktail of choice.
Yeah. This one, if you can get past the seltzer, the strawberry flavor is pretty prevalent in it. Not a whole lot of lemonade flavor. So 2.9, 2.8.
Wow. That might be, Kidder, the highest score for a seltzer on this show. We'll find out when the local geek makes his comment on YouTube. If he makes it. I mean, the episode that comes out this week, I was pretty trolly towards the local geek. I'm not going to lie. You know, with the whole if you know bit. So, I'm waiting. And the local geek is so polite. I'm not going to get like an angry thing. I'm just going to get like a polite text or a message on the YouTube channel, like, Howard, what were you having, so I can update the spreadsheet. Well, Kidder, why don't we hop right into an interesting topic, an exciting topic, a topic that everybody's probably expecting us to cover, because it is playoff time, and everybody knows that when it's playoff time, the big thing that we want to do is talk about the sport that we both love, and that means that we're going to talk about March Madness.
I'm almost done with this, but this is nowhere near enough to be talking about basketball.
Well, listen, all I wanted to do, Kidder, was share that I am once again in the State Historical Society of North Dakota's bracket contest. And Kidder, I this is how my day has gone. Okay. I checked the score, like where I ended up like at like 10 o'clock today. And I was in third place, which is pretty impressive. Especially because like last year I finished like mid to the low range of the pack. So I was in third place. I had like 86% correct. I was like, great. Right before I left work, I checked back in, just like curious. Here, I was still in tied for third place, but I then was like 93% on my accuracy. I'm like, sweet, I'm doing well. And while I was waiting for you to sign in, I just pulled it up to see where I'm at. Kidder, my accuracy has dropped to 76.6%, and I am now in 8th place. It is not going well for me. And the 3 games that are still playing, the one of them I'm kind of doomed. The score, let's see, as I scroll, or did that one finally finish? So in the one game that's just kind of getting underway, I'm okay there. Where were these? Yeah, 2 of them I got good scores going. On one of them, it's a blowout. I was trying to find it. I think the game ended. My team made a bit of a comeback because they were down by 30 points when I looked before you signed in. They finished 109-96, Alabama over Charleston. Charleston was just one of the teams I picked as an upset, and that didn't pay off. So, yeah. So, 3 games still being played right now, so I could get another 30 points, possibly. And let's see, with that ending, Howard is officially I'm in 11th place now, Kidder. I have dropped 3 ranks between 9:10 and 9:30. And Kidder, you will appreciate this. I named my bracket because you can put a name on it. My official name for my bracket is I'm Doing This Wrong. And I am living up to that. From 3rd place to 11th in the course of a day.
Yeah, it works.
Yeah. And truthfully, Kidder, I only talked about this because I knew you wouldn't care about March Madness to stall the fact that our Fighting Sioux were playing, and I might have caught a bit of it on the radio, and while I caught a bit of it on the radio, Omaha scored. I'm sorry.
Yeah, not a good day for Sioux hockey. But we won the Penrose Cup, so we go to the NCAA tournament. So,
I mean, this game didn't really matter, right? It was a practice game. Get our chops in.
I am disappointed, though, because Omaha beat UND all 5 meetings this season, which is the first time in program history for them.
Wow. They just had our number this year.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. If it makes you feel any better, Kidder, just because I haven't really followed the Sioux this year and I don't know any of the player names and any of that, and because our radio guys are not that great, like they built up the excitement so much. They're like, on the goal that I heard, it was one of those where like, so-and-so passes so-and-so, it's right, in the middle, shoots and scores. I'm like, all right, yeah, go Sioux. And like, it's like 3 minutes later as they're trying to figure out, because there was a little bit of confusion about who was like scored the goal, whether it was Miller or I forget the other guy's name. They ended up giving it to Miller, but so there was some confusion with that, and they're like, so Omaha goes up 2-1 in the second. I'm like, wait, that was Omaha that scored?
Probably wasn't our radio feed then or something. I don't know.
It's hard to say, I know that there's a lot to kind of cover in hockey and such, but I sometimes feel like the radio commentators forget that, you might be tuning in, like not right at the top of a break, and that you should maybe try and give a little bit more information. I think I listened to it for a good 5-6 minutes before I even knew the score was 1-1, and it's like, I get that, but you're filling the air with like, yeah, I met so-and-so's dad in the elevator. He corrected me on the pronunciation of his son's, one of the players' last names. I'm like, okay, interesting. What's the score? I just tuned in. I just got off work. I just got in the car. I happened to stumble upon the game. What's the score?
Not good. That was the score.
Yeah, well, I know it was good. Like it was 1-1, sounded solid when I got in and was listening. And then it went downhill from there. So the curse lives. The curse lives. So how about on the other side? How are the Avs doing? Please tell me they're doing better, because this has so far been a very depressing sports section to our show.
Well, just went on a 4-game road trip and won all 4 games. Yes. And tonight they're playing the Columbus Blue Jackets. And after 2 periods up 3-1.
No, good. I've been listening, Kidder, of course, to sports radio in the morning because I like to try and find controversies. And I will tell you this. We have been Colorado Avalanche fans for a long time, but we're not desperate Colorado Avalanche fans. These Minnesota Wild guys I listen to are like so desperate. They're like, well, we're 5 points behind, so we need to win like 5 games in order to make the last playoff spot. We need Vegas to not be winning, and Vegas is hot right now. We got a chance. And just like, no, you don't. You haven't been good all season.
They haven't been good since they became a franchise in Minneapolis. Okay.
This is why we don't have listeners in Minnesota.
Hey, man, they can think that a shot's fired, but I'm just spitting truths here. Like, don't yell at me. Yell at your players and your coaches. How about that? Not my fault you guys suck. I don't even root for you.
I haven't rooted for them since Pricey left.
Yeah, and guess where he went? The Avalanche!
By way of the New York Islanders.
Well, it doesn't.
I mean, the way you said it, Kidder, made it sound like he's like, screw you, Wild, I'm going to the Avs. It's like, no, he
maybe that was his end game. It was like one of those murder mystery shows that the true end motive was to end up at the Avalanche. And so he murdered his way through the Wild and then murdered his way through the Islanders until they just traded him and he ended up where he wanted to go in the first place.
Well, didn't he even like start with the Devils? If I'm not mistaken, he was a New Jersey Devil.
No.
Wasn't he?
Who
Because I know Sajak was there.
Yes, that was Travis Zajac.
Not to be confused with Pat Sajak.
Sajak.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that was Sajak and not Zajac with the S and the Z.
Yes, I know, but I butchered that. Actually, I'm right. He actually started with the New Jersey Devils in 2005.
Well, there we go.
He played with the Devils from 2005 to 2012 before joining the Minnesota Wild, where he would serve out the majority of his hockey career from 2012 to 2021. In 2021, he was released as well, not really released. The Wild bought out the remaining years on his contract. He went to the New York Islanders from 2021 through 2023. And then in 2024, because he missed the beginning part of the season, he joined the Colorado Avalanche. He signed for a 1-year, $825,000 contract. So, yeah. He's also a silver Olympic medalist and has 2 gold World Junior Championships. Wow. Quite the season. And quite the career. All right. So, yeah. We're not too far off of the NHL playoffs. So,
right around the corner. Practically there.
Wonder if we should do a playoff bracket for the, NHL playoffs. Nah, that's too much work.
How about Avalanche win? There. Bracket's done.
Well, I figured, Kidder, that you would just, basically your bracket would just be, Avs win, Avs win, Avs win, Avs win, Avs win the cup, and you'd leave the rest blank because you're like, who cares?
Yes, that is what I was going to say. Yes. So thank you.
You'd probably just like circle the Avs at the first, part of the bracket and just draw a line to the championship. Circle that, and you're like,
know me all too well.
You're like, done.
Mm-hmm.
I do. I know you're not much of like a tournament bracket kind of guy where I enjoy a good tournament. So, I'm not going to lie. Like, the only reason I'm watching this March Madness thing is because I got to fill out a bracket. I have no knowledge of like college basketball whatsoever. Next year, I'm thinking what I'm going to do is I'm just going to assign like each spot like a wrestler and just load up one of the WWE wrestling games and just play out the bracket, and that'll just be how I do my picks.
And now you're thinking. That's the way to do it. Let the computer do it.
Right. Well, and in like a totally not any way that matters sort of way. So next year I'll have to do that. Or just find time to like get my bracket figured out, and then I'll just fill it in with whatever and just go, yeah. Call it the AI bracket.
Well, you realize it was either last year or 2 years ago for the NCAA tournament bracket. I did the coin flip.
Yep, you did it. You did a coin flip. I did a dice rolling one once. It really wasn't well thought out. So this time I actually tried to look at stats. Apparently there's this whole basketball power index where
That.
Listen, this is the greatest crock-a-bowl ever. It's a bunch of analysts taking and rating their offensive ability, their defensive ability, and then scoring it out from there. And it's just and so I looked at that a lot, but I'm I have no idea what this number means, if this is good or not. What does it mean if if you're the number one in BPI? I will say, and this will be the last of the March Madness talk, I did pick good old Rude Boy Kyle's Iowa State to make it to the championship game. Because, you got to support, the people who support this show. Man, kidder, I'm burning through this thing. And not in a good way. Because I keep talking and I'm I'm thirsty. I need a drink. And then I take a drink of this thinking it'll help. And I'm that didn't help. I'm still parched. I don't know. I don't know that I like that. Yes. Well, moving away from sports. So, Kidder, the missus and I, we finished season 1 of Bosch. We've been working our way through that show, and I'll say this: by the end of season 1, it got a lot better. They got less of the brooding, more of the things moving forward, and nice kind of conclusions to all of the little story angles. And I mean, they did an excellent job of making sure everything was wrapped up. Every single kind of subplot, everything got an ending. And that was really nice. They did set it up with a cliffhanger, but it wasn't one that was oh my gosh, now you have this unsolved part. It was just they left the character in a spot where you're what happens next to this guy? I'm curious. So that was good. We started season 2, and we got maybe halfway through the first episode, and Lefty fell asleep, so we had to stop. It's kind of back to brooding, and I'm just it's season 2, you're only 8 episodes. We don't need 3 episodes of you brooding. Let's pick up. Let's keep the energy moving. And, but I'm enjoying it. I can't remember, Kidder. I know you were familiar with the show, but I didn't know if you had ever watched it.
I haven't watched it, but just that it's part of the Bourne universe, correct?
No, it's part of the Lincoln Lawyer universe.
It's the other show, right? Never mind. No, I know nothing about it.
I mean, you might like it with your interest in law enforcement and such. I think you'd enjoy it. He does a great job of kind of portraying, a good cop, and they do a nice job of, not every cop is bad, not every cop is good. There are cops that are assholes. There are cops that are tryhards. There are cops who probably shouldn't be cops. So it does a nice job in that sense. It's not like when you watch Law and Order and all of the cops are good guys. There's no bad cops in Law and Order. I think somebody once described Law and Order as basically top fanfic. So, but no, Bosch is good. As I said, I enjoy it. It just starts off really kind of slow. But if you give it the chance, you let it build, it'll pick up. I still like Reacher better. So I'm going to tell you, kidder, start with Reacher, watch those seasons, and then if you're feeling like something policey, go on to Bosch. And I will say, kidder, like I know how much you hate the short seasons, but it kind of works for Bosch and for Reacher because they're handling like, you know, a single story, a single case. It's not a case a week. It's here we're giving you the individual story, and it's more like a TV miniseries is how I view it. So,
and I don't like miniseries because I need more action.
Well, here's the great news. There's like 10 seasons of Bosch out there. So like plenty. There's plenty. So there you go. But that's what we've been watching. So how about you, kidder? Anything new that you've been watching? Anything crossing the old kidder airwaves?
Well, yesterday was the season 2 finale release for Halo. Very interesting. Very disappointing because, again, only 8 episodes in a season. And the season was kind of all over the place. Like, there's really great parts, and then there's other crap parts. So, just not, again, not a huge fan of having to sit through the stinker portions of the episodes and still only get 8 episodes. You know what I mean?
You know, again, and I haven't seen any of the Halo series. To me, it would all be based on, you know, how good those episodes are. That would be the big thing. And again, like I'm okay with a shorter series if it tells a full story. What I kind of tend to have an issue with is, you know, when it's a part of a much longer story and we're not really, you know, it's like again, like what am I trying to think of? You know, like when you have your Star Treks, even like NCIS, you have a kind of a longer story that's being told. When it's only 8 seasons and it's a lot of filler, or it's only 8 episodes, you know, yeah. Sometimes you do just want more, but I don't know. If it's clearly designed and it's not just laziness, and it's not just, hey, we're being cheap. If it's truly a full story, I tend to be okay with that. I was trying to find something.
I don't know. I just want more. I just need all of it. All of the goodness. And again, my gripe, which I think a lot of people's gripes with the Halo series has been that Master Chief is not fighting the Covenant a lot. He's fighting humans. And on top of that, he's not wearing his armor and his suit takes it off, takes the helmet off all the time, and they're not quite sticking to the full Halo universe that's based on the universe, right? So it's not specifically following the games, which, right, you don't want it to exactly follow the games, but wouldn't it be cooler if it did? 20 plus, like 23, 4 years of story that's there. Weave in the pieces of the game. Master Chief can still be the main subject, but what happened here? What happened here? Before this, between this, do that.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of things that were amiss with this one, because I actually saw a commentator talk about it, how with the first season, it turned off all of the like hardcore Halo fans because it wasn't Halo. And now they're trying to get closer to like what is hardcore Halo, but all the hardcore Halo fans have already tuned out. So you're having a harder time connecting that audience to it. And truthfully, yeah, Halo is almost, I don't know. It's one of those, I don't know that it's a great movie series. I don't think it's a great TV series. It's one of those things that, like, to film it and to film it correctly and in a way that people would, I think, truly enjoy it is really difficult. It's kind of like any time where somebody takes like a video game, any other video game series, and tried to make like a live action series of it. There's just some elements of the game, that don't work well. Everybody's praising like the Super Mario Brothers movie that just came out, this past year or so. And part of that is, if you look at it, it has a lot of references to the games and to that world that we all grew up in. But it's not really Mario. He's not running through levels. He's not having to beat, 8 worlds with 3 levels each in order to get to it. That just doesn't work. They had to create a story and flush that story out in order to make that work. And Halo's got all this lore and all of that, and it's kind of hard. And people have some very strong feelings about some of that story. There are people who know these games inside and out, and it's just, I think it's like very ambitious to try and do, and I just don't think they're doing it well. So and I haven't even watched it. I don't have an interest to watch it, if that's,
It's still good enough to watch because the visuals are fantastic in the right scenes. Like I mentioned, 7 weeks ago, at this point, the opening sequence to season 2, fantastic. Loved it. Don't love their extra little changes. Whatever.
Yeah. Well, Kidder, we've since we're talking Halo, let me jump in because
we're gonna take 2 weeks off and play through all of the games.
No, I have something to share. Kidder, Mantic Games has put up the pre-order for Halo Flashpoint, the tactical miniatures game based on Halo. And I'm sharing with you right now, this is the pre-order website. And you're getting to see, of course, some video game footage, but you're also getting to see some of the miniatures. It's coming out fall 2024. And while I was really excited for this, I am now also somewhat disappointed in this. And let me tell you why. And it's because they decided not to make it so that it's a Halo game where it's you versus the Covenant, sort of game. Nope. This is probably the worst part of Halo. It's the Halo multiplayer.
Great.
Yep. So as that plays through, we can kind of scroll down here. They have the different editions. So this is the Spartan edition. And you can see it's classic red versus blue. We'll get to who these gray guys are in a little bit. You can see it comes with some terrain, some different obstacles, some tokens, cards, the rule book. There's that. It is a tactical miniatures game. Halo Flashpoint is the tactical miniatures game for 2 or more players. Begin your journey in the War Games combat arena, bringing a range of classic Halo game modes, troop types, and weapons to life on the tabletop. Discover an exciting game that's easy to learn, challenging to master, and rewards cool thinking under fire. For 2 or more players, 14 and up, 30 to 90 minutes. And again, you're getting to see some of the miniatures here. What you noticing is missing there, Kidder? No Master Chief. No
Classic.
No Master Chief.
Maybe it's one of those guys with the the helmet on.
Yeah. So the year is 2560. Humanity was forced to the brink of extinction by alien alliance was the Covenant, and even in victory, many of our worlds were glassed and left in ruins. From the ashes of the Covenant War, a new generation of super soldiers has been trained in the war game simulation, pitting Spartan fire teams against almost infinite combination of potential threats, including each other. That's right. We're not fighting a war. This is after the Covenant War. This is basically like if you got a Star Trek miniatures game, but it's all on the holodeck. This is such a miss. But anyway, those gray figures that you saw in there, hey, it's the elites. The only Covenant models that they've revealed for this.
Wow, they look so different and unique.
Yeah. And of course, like this is as someone has painted, yours coming plain gray. Anyway, the pre-order for Halo Flashpoint, and you know what? I should actually have scrolled up here and let's put it in our currency, US dollar, as we come down. Kidder, if you're going to go in for the Spartan edition, it is $125. Or you could get the Recon edition for $75, or just the terrain, a deluxe terrain set for $100. A dice booster for $20, or a paint set for $50. Now, here's the one kind of nice thing. Clearly, there is a Master Chief model that exists, but it's not in here in the Spartan edition. I don't know how you get it. There's nothing on here that says how you get it, but it's there in the paint set ad. So, yeah. Anyway,
I like it. I like it.
I'm not gonna lie. I had so much hope for this. I was so looking forward to painting like Spartans and the tactical Marines or the Covenant or even the Flood, like painting some brutes. Like, I was so excited about that. And if all it is just Spartans and not even Master Chief. And the game types are King of the Hill and Oddball. And I had so much hope that we were finally, and I love Mantic, and I love Mantic's rule sets. They're good rule sets. They're quick. They're easy. They're not hard to play. This to me is a miss. I wanted to play out the Covenant War, I don't want to play out Spartan versus Spartan. I don't want to play out red versus blue. I wanted to relive our glory days on the tabletop. So,
well, Howard, it sounds to me like you and I need to fire up the Master Chef collection, get Rude Boy Kyle, get this thing online.
Yeah, I mean, I am just disappointed in this. I mean, it went from Kidder, when I heard this was announced, I was like, I'm in. You got my money. And now I'm just like, I don't know that you do. I don't know that I'm sold. So,
you know what I can sell you on? Colorado Avalanche hockey. Bear with me. I know we already talked about it, but this is an in-progress update. I'm selling you on how awesome Avs hockey is, as Nathan McKinnon has scored a goal at home against the Columbus Blue Jackets, which means he has now scored 33 games in a row at home. And I can't remember what the record is that Wayne Gretzky holds, but it would be super cool if he could beat it.
I mean, Nathan McKinnon is an awesome player. I mean, we got some great guys between him, Rantanen, Kale McCarr, Zach Parise now. They're a pretty solid team, which is good. It's good. I like this solid Avs that we've got going on, and not, for years, Kidder, we've been watching our Avs because it's like, well, another rebuilding year.
Fighting Rude Boy for the basement and hockey scores.
Yeah. Hey, I know we spoke about the Wild, but I actually saw them do something interesting, Kidder.
Go golfing?
No. It's something that I haven't seen done. Most people haven't seen done. This was a couple of weeks ago. They had a game that went to overtime, and almost immediately they pulled their goalie and put a fourth skater on, and I think it was Kaprizov, then scored the goal. But I mean, it's like, you don't see that, and like, that's a Patrick Waugh move to go, all right, it's overtime, we're a minute in, pull the goalie. I was like, to me, it's like, now there was a good use of pull the goalie. You need the points. If you are going to be desperate enough to be like, we need every game to, get into the playoffs. Makes sense. So,
go big or go home.
Yeah.
And you might as well.
Yeah. So I know we don't tend to give the Wild much credit, but I will, that was my thought when I saw it. I'm like, did Patrick Waugh already get traded over to coach in the Wild? What the hell? So, Kidder, I'm out of this pineapple drink. I think you're maybe out of your seltzer.
Yeah, I crushed that thing so then I could be done with it sooner.
Well, I mean, if you're up for it, we can go to everybody's second favorite segment of the show. What you thinking? Gonna do it? Should I say the line?
Go for it.
Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, it is What's on Tap? Round 2. Drink. And get her. I'll just hop in my drink your paint water koozie. This is another one that you brought me back from Iowa. This actually first time on the show. You guys talked about it in episode 152 but you talked about it as in like, we had this earlier today. So I don't think the local geek's going to put it on the list. So I get to add it to the list. This is from the Barntown Brewing Company, and it is the handcrafted Barntown old-fashioned root beer. It's not alcoholic. Made in Iowa. Brewed and canned by Barntown Brewing of West Des Moines, Iowa. It was the back-to-back 2021 and 2022 U.S. Open Beer Championship gold medal. I'm wondering if that's just the brewery or if it was this drink. I'm not 100% sure.
I mean, the way that it tastes could beat a bunch of those other beers like IPAs. So,
yeah. To us, root beer is a reminder of a more simpler time, a throwback, old-fashioned, if you will, a time when all we needed was a good drive-in movie, a cheeseburger, the roar of a muscle car's engine, and friends to pal around with. Barntown old-fashioned root beer, proudly made in Iowa. 213 calories. I think I've gotten all of the pertinent information off this can. And so let's give it a try. And I am a bit of a root beer snob, Kidder, so we'll see how this stacks up. Some of the classics. Ooh, that is a good root beer smell. It's not bad. Not bad. It's a little bit more watery than some other root beers I've had. But it's got a nice creamy taste. Does not have any of the bite like you get out of like a Barks root beer, like that sharp root beer. It's more of a smooth, like an I'm totally blanking on it.
A&W.
There we go. Why was I blanking on that? You know why? Because part of it, my brain wanted to do like AEW, but I knew that wasn't right. Howard needs more sleep. Yeah, it's not bad. It's not bad. Not the best root beer I've ever had, but it's pretty good. Pretty good. I would rate this. I'd rate this like a 3.8. Above average. But there's other root beers out there that I've had that I like better than this. But this is it's a contender. It's pretty good. I'm going to enjoy that for the last half of this show.
Good.
So, thank you, good sir. Thank you for bringing this back from Iowa.
I'm happy to do so.
Yeah. Kidder, I see the fridge is open. What you reaching for? What you grabbing? What you having? I'm trying to build the excitement. Kidder's like, I don't know. This, maybe this.
Can't do that one. This one, I think I'm just going to shoot.
I actually kind of want your opinion on that. That has been a surprisingly good IPA, in my opinion.
The can looks all right.
The can looks amazing. It's not as bitter as some of the others. It's got just a really cool aftertaste. I don't know. I like that one. But I can appreciate what you grabbed.
We'll go with this one.
I mean,
hey.
You grabbed a warm weather drink.
At the perfect time.
Perfect time, right before a major snowstorm. Mm-hmm.
This here is the black long drink. And I have only had the blue long drink. So this one, 8.5% alcohol by volume. gin with natural grapefruit and juniper berry flavors, and carbonation. The Legend of 1952. Long drink is a top-selling category of alcohol in Finland, now available in America. The roots of long drinks go all the way back to 1952 Summer Games in Finland, when the country of only 4 million people was still recovering from the Second World War. Concerned with how to serve drinks quickly and up to all the visitors, the government commissioned the creation of the revolutionary new liquor drink, and so the first long drinks were born. Now, this legendary taste has finally been brought to America by the next generation of Finns who want the world to experience the refreshing and unique Finnish long drink. Visit them online at thelongdrink.com. Product of the USA. Really?
Yeah. It's gluten-free.
Yeah, but it's a Finnish drink, and it's a product of the US.
Yes.
I'm feeling scammed here.
Well, it's because there's a group of Finns who came over to the United States, now make the great United States their home, and they're like, we got this drink back home you would all love. So, I'm willing to accept that.
Scam.
I also don't know why when I said gluten-free, I went with a Scottish accent.
A gluten-free? North Carolina.
Wait, just North Carolina? You're not...
Well, fine. It's... Hold on. Crapapolis? Oh. Canapolis. North Carolina!
Thank you. I was slightly disappointed. Hey, this show was built on gimmicks and catchphrases. Got to give the people what they want.
Glad. It'll make more sense when you see the 2-camera view there. Straight up grapefruit right off the top, since you're talking Scottish. That's way better than that, but it's also very weird after that. The seltzer in this kills a lot of the goodness in this, and so I'm very disappointed, but the 8.5% alcohol is going to help.
Yeah, I mean, it tastes like the blue can of the long drink. It just hits you a bit harder. And then I still am of the belief that JS clearly had to have something that ruined his palate before he had that blue long drink, which Hitter, if you're having problems with the seltzer, may I suggest you cleanse your... Let me try again.
How about you have another drink, you lush?
I mean, listen, I don't know why I was trying to get catchphrases and gimmicks. Why don't you cleanse your palate with a shot of whiskey?
Because I'm not you, number one. Let's be honest here.
You would have said that perfectly without the weird dyslexic take on it.
Maybe.
I mean, I basically just said cleanse your claret.
I mean, that might be a thing that some people are into. This is 2024. Not judging, okay?
I listen. I'm going to get myself out of this embarrassment at my inability to put words together into actual sentences. And
some good news.
Well, I saw the gesture. I was going to transition to something, but sure, share the good news.
Okay. 2 pieces of good news. The Columbus Blue Jackets still at 1. Colorado Avalanche 6. Valeri Nichushkin scoring the 6th goal there. So now we have Makar, McKinnon, Rantanen, and Nichushkin, at least that I've seen, who have scored goals. So wonderful. The other piece of good news, yes, this is a twofer good news on a Friday night. MLW, I think it's Major League Wrestling, has reached out to Mauro Ranallo about coming back into the pro wrestling world commentary. Court Bauer and Ranallo had worked together on a Strikeforce project in the past, so there is some connection with MLW and Ranallo. And how great would it be to have Mauro Ranallo calling wrestling once again?
I mean, I like him a lot. So I'll be excited for that. Hey, another bit of just interesting wrestling news here. We'll make this quite the news segment with a third piece of news. In an interesting turn of events, Shayna Baszler has been given permission to participate in Bloodsport, which is Josh Burnett's Bloodsport, which is kind of an interesting, like, bare knuckle boxing / wrestling event that usually takes place WrestleMania weekend. And it's interesting that she's gotten permission to do this because usually during WrestleMania weekend, the WWE has historically tried to shut down all of the independent promotions who try to put on shows in the same city. So in this case, Philadelphia, as WrestleMania, to capitalize on all the wrestling fans who travel in to see the show. So it's interesting that they've given permission for one of their stars to do this. She's having a match, and I forget who her opponent is, but her opponent is from TNA. So all interesting things.
A little bit of a dream match of sorts.
Yeah.
If you're into that.
So be interesting to see how that goes. And Kate Kidder, for a fourth piece, let's keep on the good news.
Whoa.
Yeah. It's time for, some dad jokes. Yeah. That's right. It's Kidder's least favorite segment on the show. It's when that's when Howard tells some dad
that's
jokes.
usually the start.
Wow. So here we go. 4 dad jokes for this week that you can share with anybody. Did you hear about the guy who had the whole left side of his body amputated? Yeah, he's all right now.
I thought that was going to be just the right decision.
Did you take a shower today? Sure, Dad. Well, you better return it. Yeah. To the man in the wheelchair who stole my camouflage jacket. You can hide, but you can't run.
That one's just sad.
I
Why
mean,
are you picking on the people who are stuck in a wheelchair for a dad joke. That's just cruel.
There's like one joke every week that's just like it goes like really dark and really hard, and I'm just like, this is supposed to be kind of a fun thing, and it's like, I don't know that I would, as a dad, tell that joke to my kids. So, and our last dad joke of the week. I never wanted to believe my dad was stealing from his job as a road worker. But when I got home, all the signs were there.
And your sponsor of that final dad joke is Ace of Base.
Thanks, Ace of Base.
Do you want to fill in the reason? You remember the lyrics?
I mean, I remember that there's one is I saw the sign.
Yeah.
I opened up my eyes. I saw the sign. Yeah. I was trying to think of another Ace of Base song, and, listen, it's not been a great
around.
night.
You You did anyway.
That was a visual gag for those of us watching on YouTube. So this Howard's tired. It's been a week. I can't string sentences together. That's the best you get, folks. You're welcome.
It's kind of what we get every week.
Yep. Nothing but pure Howard 100% trying. This is why, listen, this is why you are like the radio professional and I'm not.
Because you can't see what goes on in the booth?
No, I just don't have the skill set to do what you do, man.
Well, thanks, I think.
Yeah, no, listen, that was totally a compliment. Enjoy that. You know, it's something we don't do a lot of here on the Triple B. Give compliments. Usually we give, like cheap digs and insults.
Or point out sad truths.
Yes.
Kind of like the Minnesota Wild's overall record in the NHL.
Man, we just wild fans are going to be like, oh, these guys, I hate them. And then, like, I gave them praise. So they're going to be like, yeah, they like us again. And now they're going to be like, oh, I hate these guys again.
Hey, the tens and tens of them are going to, figure it out on their own.
It's a roller coaster emotion for Wild fans.
Yeah. Just like every season. This is the season! Wow, we're going to get...
Let's be honest, Kitter. It's not really a roller coaster for them. It's one of those tower drop rides, where they bring you to the top. You're at the height of expectation, and they just drop you. That's it. Yeah. That's the truth of being a Wild fan. So that's at least with the Avs, we stand a chance most seasons.
Yeah.
No.
And the Bobcats made it to the postseason.
Good job, Cats.
And they won tonight.
Woohoo! Let's go, Cats.
Yeah.
Well,
what other randomness can we just throw in here?
I mean, listen, we can throw a lot of random in here. I might hate us later when I'm editing, but mostly because I have to then figure out what do I call this chapter? It's a bunch of random things pieced together. We maybe talk about something for 30 seconds, but then we switch to this, then we come back to it. I always hate when we get those things.
I'm going to need you to chapter each segment and then label it chapter 2 part 3 and chapter 2 part 4. So then you're on chapter 13, but it's chapter 2 part 2. Make perfect sense in the end.
Truthfully, I was thinking I just need to start naming our chapters just after our guests and friends. Because I've noticed a couple of things where I have mentioned somebody, Local Geek got called out because we were talking about him in the spreadsheet. And he didn't even watch the episode yet. And he already had a comment. He's like, I see I'm in a chapter. I'm curious what was said. And I'm like, I wonder if I just called out everybody, with some salacious headline chapter title. If I could get all of our, cohorts to at least watch the show.
Well, Big D doesn't watch at all, so he's not going to see it.
No. Which is sad because when you go back to episode 150, I made a very special graphic just for Big D. And it was definitely something special.
Maybe we should have tagged him in it.
I did in the Facebook post, actually.
Maybe we should create another post and tag him in it again.
Yeah. I was actually thinking about Big D. I was thinking I need to reach out to him because he always complains. He can't be on the show now because he's in Korea. And when we record this, it's like noon. And I'm like, you know what? We're coming up on the 3-year anniversary. In fact, I believe that's next week. Is the 3-year anniversary. And I'm like, you know what? I should just send him a message like, hey, the 3-year anniversary here is this next week. I know you probably can't join. Do you want to record a message and send it in? And I'll add it to the show, like a behind the curtain or something, so that he can be a part of it. So we'll see.
Like work.
Hey, I mean, we've done it before because he sent in to me the whole story about having a doppelganger over there. And I just put it behind the curtain one episode. So wouldn't be hard. Be
Probably
easy.
where his doppelganger wanted to be because he didn't want to be associated.
Yeah. So, yeah. Mm. Well, let's see, Kidder. We've talked sports. We've talked TV. We've talked board games. How about we go digital? Have you been playing any any video games? Let me try this again. Holy man, one more slip up and I'm just going to submit myself down to the amateur league, go back to our farm team, get some reps in.
You playing farm sim with us?
No, I just make jokes while you guys play.
Fine. Well, Ruboy's been playing farm sim. Last weekend, we played Flashing Lights for a while. There's a brand new SWAT truck. Extra DLC. Did you see that?
I mean, I did see the SWAT truck. Yes.
It tops out at like 68.
I may have popped in during that conversation. I think there was a high-speed pursuit going on.
Yep.
Which somebody could not catch the car they were chasing.
That was me.
And maybe drove off a bridge.
I can neither confirm nor deny these nor any other allegations at this time.
Listen, if people want to know, they should go watch the episode, which now has a brand new thumbnail that I created. I think you'll approve. I went with a different. I've done the cop cars. I've done the tow trucks. So I went fire department, and I came up with something that represented an incident that happened while you guys were playing. So I was pretty proud of myself. And
the cat in the tree.
The cat in the tree. Yep. Mm-hmm. And yes, if you look at that thumbnail and you go, "That's a really big cat in that tree." That's what you get when you use AI art generation.
It's also very European. And is that a bird or a mouse on the ladder?
I'm not exactly sure, but I didn't think that I had the time. There was like a flying hamster in the night sky too that I had to take out. I got that one because that was an easy fix. But the hairball on the ladder, I'm just I don't know what to do with this. I'm just going to leave it. Maybe people.
That is. So I downloaded it and I'm looking at it. I think that was a cat that got morphed into a tree.
It's listen, AI art generation. You never know what you're gonna get.
Plus, the ladder is also growing like a tree.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And there's a mountain behind the fire truck.
Yes.
And there's a firefighter sleeping. I mean, that's correct. That's probably the most correct thing on the entire graphic is that there's a firefighter sleeping in the truck.
Fun fact, Kidder, because unfortunately with AI, art, it's all square. It's not the rectangular that I need, so I have to piece things together. So in this case, the weird, trippy firefighter ladder giant cat bit. And then I tried to combine another firefighter scene, and I didn't like it, so I cut out the the truck and put that there, and I tried to shape the clouds so that it filled the space, but now it looks like a mountain. The best part of that, that orange and yellow and kind of red flame thing, the best I could come up to fill the hole that I had there, that's actually the album cover off of one of the Another Lost Year albums. If you kind of look, you can kind of see down at the bottom with you how it all of a sudden like there's a flat black.
Yeah, that's North Carolina.
That would be North Carolina.
Carolina!
I was using what I had, man.
Yeah. I was expecting, due to the firefighters, that there'd be like spaghetti on here somewhere. Making spaghetti, or maybe some hose, or a car wash.
The AI art generator was giving me some just terrible things. Like, it took like 3 or 4 tries to get like something that I'm like, I can make that work. So I have one other firefighter themed one, but it's pretty generic. So, but
yeah. Well, Rude Boy and I saved that cat.
You did. I tuned in. I saw that, and I'm like, all right. That could be an interesting thumbnail. It shows some action, something that you guys did in game. Yep.
It wasn't night when it happened, though. But
listen, that was the best of what they gave me.
Why is there a fire truck that is coming at the firefighter, reaching out to the cat?
Again, I was just trying to fill that other side, man. Don't think too hard about that.
Is that a pterodactyl?
It could be. Listen, if you're gonna pick apart the AI art,
I made the mistake of downloading the damn graphic. Okay, and now we're at that point.
Yeah, I'm
gonna save it. I'm gonna use it for the next one that we do.
I'll try and upload all of them to the graphics file. If I get some time, so that you guys have some options so you can cycle through with it.
Now, my question for you: do you enjoy having the multi-view on the one screen like that, or not?
I like it, actually. And it's interesting. Twitch actually, I was watching a different streamer. Apparently, they got rid of the whole squad streaming bit. So the only way to do it now is through, like, basically opening up, like, each individual. Like, I would have to open up your stream in one window and then open up Kyle's stream in another window, and then have to listen to, like, because you guys use Discord, the Discord on one of them, and just kind of mute the other one. That's how Twitch has gone to doing it. So the fact that you, with that, stream it so I can see both of them and do that, and I don't have to have 2 screens, and I appreciate that. I like watching between the two of you. There's a slight delay on his feed, so it's sometimes interesting when he, like, appears on your screen, and then, like, you can turn to his screen and you see him pull up.
Yeah. The second, it's like a replay.
Yeah. I like it, though. I can see both. I can see everything. I don't have a problem with it. So, in fact, I've had times where, like, I've seen Kyle hop on, and I'm like, oh, Kidder will be on shortly. So I'll maybe start watching Kyle, and as soon as, like, I get the notification that you're on, then I'm like, and flip over so I can watch both.
And Kyle's like, F you, man. I wanted the view.
Hey, we've had a few times where, like, you've had technical difficulties on your end, and I have flipped back over to Kyle's. So, but it's all good. I enjoy hopping in, and I enjoy getting to make some comments and basically try to make you guys laugh as you're playing, or at least go, oh gosh, Howard's here.
We definitely need the peanut gallery.
Yeah, I'm trying. I'm trying.
Get that algorithm going. Like, oh man, there's a lot of chat happening here from one guy.
Hey, I saw Brother Smalls was actually watching you the other, during that stream too. So
he hopped in. I mean, we were going for like 5 hours, is what that one said. So
yeah,
that was a long one.
It was. I mean, and I'm not there the whole time. I kind of hop in, hop out as I can, but definitely try to hop in, say a few things. I will say I still stand by that game has something against vans.
Yeah,
Seems like every time that I hop in, it's like, well, this van is stolen. It's like, okay. It's I think there was the one time where like Kyle. Well, I will get words right eventually. But Kyle had like a checkpoint going, and he had like 2 stolen vans, like one right after the other. So that's always interesting when you guys play those games. It's fun. I've actually been watching the streamer that I mentioned, who I said I was watching his stuff, and that's where I learned that squad streaming was gone. He's been playing a supermarket simulator that's in like really early access, and it's kind of like the perfect thing for me to have on when I'm at work, just to have background noise. So that's been kind of interesting to watch him trying to run a store and grow it, and he's pretty entertaining. So that's been enjoyable. So, yeah.
And is that like in the store and you're stocking stuff, or is it kind of like our favorite map from the Call of Duty Modern Warfare remastered, or?
Yeah, I mean, it's setting you up where you have a store, you get to buy the shelving, you get to stock the product on it, then you get to run the register. And you start off with like a small, like very small, like corner store, but you can keep growing and expanding and expanding and expanding. And there are people who build like whole friggin' supermarkets out of it. So, but it's in very early access. And so like he talks about, as he's playing, just some of the like glitchy things about it. Like if you want to reorganize your product, you have to have the box that the product comes in, or at least the right size box. So like if you have like one thing of salt over on this shelf and you want to put it with the other salt, you have to have the box to move it. And it's just because they haven't coded that in yet. So I think they're on like version like 1.01 or 1.02. So it's very early access, but it's very chill. And he's the streamer I'm watching. His name is Ray Narvaez Jr. I've been following him since his time in Achievement Hunter. And he's just got a great kind of, I like his personality. He's entertaining. And so it's fun to listen to him talk to chat as he does it. It's funny when he struggles with things. He's got, he works in quite a few jokes, and I get a kick out of it. But it's been interesting to watch. I don't know that I would play the game myself, but it's interesting, all of the different simulators that are coming out these days. So some would say life is a giant simulation. And on that kind of weird observation, Kidder, we've been talking for quite a while. It's been a long week. I think it's time we wrap this show up with one final Avs update and then cheap plugs.
Well, game's over. Avs won 6-1. I'll take it. So there's your Avs update, I guess. Love that. Love seeing the victory. Let's see. What else can I share with you? beerbluesbs.com. It's our website, beerbluesbs.com. beerbluesbs.com. In case you're driving or kind of listening, just figured I'd share that with you. beerbluesbs.com. It's our website. Also on streamlabs.com/beerbluesbs. streamlabs.com/beerbluesbs. On there, you can support the show by subscribing. Yeah, subscribe to the show as little as $1 a month. Help us keep this thing rolling, the train rolling, wherever it's going. And of course, year 3 coming up real shortly, and WrestleMania upon us. All the fun things. You want to keep us going, help us, buy us some beer, send us some money. That'd be cool. We appreciate you and your time. beerbluesbs.com and streamlabs.com/beerbluesbs. There's also the store at both of those locations. You can buy some merch and get some good stuff right there. And that's how awesome that is, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Merch is awesome.
Merch is awesome. I do like the merch. I was actually just thinking about buying more merch.
Wow.
So, yeah.
Pint glass?
I was thinking about it. Definitely some t-shirts. I kind of want a few more of some of the other slogans and things that we have. So,
shower curtain?
No. I have put up with Big D long enough. I don't need to see his face every day.
Okay. What about maybe floor mat?
No, I'm good. I like the t-shirts because then I can wear them out in public and, represent the brand.
Yeah. That's what I do. Promote the show too. What about a chef's apron? Or a notepad?
I'm pretty good on notepads, man. I go to conventions where they hand that stuff out.
Well, maybe that's where we need to go, a convention.
North Dakota Tourism Conference is coming up in April.
That sounds like a Howard Blues mission.
I'm not going this year.
Well, it sounds like you need to go.
I don't.
Take that out of the coffers for the show.
Yeah, I'll find other ways to promote us. Mm-hmm. I got ideas.
Oh, he's got ideas. Okay. Smoke signals?
Yep. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Great. We're going back in time, folks. Let's see. Yeah, there's that. What else do we have? Pretty much anything. We're on all the audio platforms. We're on YouTube as well for video. So if you like podcasts and you want to help us get to more people, please search the platforms wherever you have an account, all of them, and subscribe to Beer, Blues, and BS. That would help us. Be helpful. Thanks. Really, the money would be probably the most helpful thing. And if you want to sponsor us, that's even better. We'll put your logo here or here or here or here or here or here or here, here. Something like that, Hey, Macarena. Aye. Different things, different ways, different things. That brings up an interesting thing on the drive to and from Des Moines that I shared the fact that you can do the Macarena or any of the traditional dances that come up, those songs that you hear, like the Cupid Shuffle. They're in like a 4/4 time scale. and then they have 4 bars, and then it repeats over again, and all the dances are set in that, where you do them in the 4 bars, and then it moves, like you turn or whatever the case is. Blew the Mrs. Mind. She's doing the Macarena to all these songs from the 90s, the 70s. Like, there you go. You're welcome. I ruined it for her.
There's a video out there, Kidder, where somebody has taken the famous last rap battle from the movie 8 Mile with Eminem and have set it to the J.D. Wentworth.
J.G. Wentworth? 877 cash now?
Yeah.
877 cash now.
And it works out. I'll have to see if I can find it and send it to you.
877 cash now.
But it fits just so well. But yeah.
877 cash now. 877 cash now. Called J.G. Wentworth. Please sponsor our show. Please sponsor our show. Logo could be here or here or here. Full screen. All right. Maybe that's a little too much pandering. On a side note, are you prepared for the snow apocalypse happening around us?
Oh, I'm not. It has been told, or at least because we had a fairly large staff meeting today, and it was basically suggested, like, be prepared to work from home Monday. So sounds like I will probably be working from home Monday.
No.
You don't think so? I hope you're right. I don't like working from home, so I'm hoping.
Here. Boop. Let's see if this actually works. Hey, it's my picture.
It is. It is your picture. And nothing else.
Present something. Why? I'm clicking on the thing. It says the thing. So I'll just do this. There. That works. You like this? Live action snow total forecasting?
That's pretty good. I mean, I'm excited the fact that it's just saying, like 8 inches, so that's good. That's very good.
Just throwing in some totals over there by the main towns. It's Watford City. There you go. And those are, of course, forecast estimates between tonight and Monday. So tomorrow, when the snow has started or almost going to start, these will update again. So I don't know, man. You might be working on Monday.
I'm, as I said, it wasn't that I wasn't going to be working. It's just more of a where I'm working from. So, sure. That's good. That's good.
I guess we're right on the. You might get 8.8, and I might get 9.4. Now that it's listed, I kind of want to measure. Just take take the ruler and do the competing measurements from the forecast model to reality.
Do it. And then report back next week here on the Triple B.
Yeah. I mean, you're going to be involved in it too. So there's that. So don't forget.
I'll try not to.
All right. Perfect. Okay, like us, share us, please share us, please comment, all the good stuff. As for that, well, let's get on out of here. We're done with this thing. So remember, there's free beer tomorrow. Keep your glass loose, half full, and we will catch you on down that drifting Tuscon highway. Have a good one. See you in the next episode of Beer, Blues, and BS.
You have been listening to a UA production of Beer, Blues, and BS. If you enjoyed the show, help others find out about it by rating the show or leaving a review at your podcast listening service of choice. Thanks for listening, and may your glass never be empty. UA Productions presents A Glimpse Behind the Curtain.
Yeah. I'm a little sad. We kind of skipped final thoughts there, and I had one queued up.
Well, you better share your final thought then.
Well, that's okay, because now it's gone from final thought to behind the curtain. Because I'm waiting for you to watch this video.
I have a structured settlement and I need cash now. Call JT Wentworth, 877 cash now.
Well, I did. 877 cash now.
It's pretty good. It's pretty good. I was going to share, Kidder, a final thought of,